Good morning, Professor. Good morning, class. Our responsibility this week is to kind of discuss our interpersonal communication goals. One of the questions is describe your selected interpersonal communication skill improvement goals. Another is explain why you selected this goal for yourself. How have you felt challenged in the skill area? How does improving this skill area benefit you? Explain your improvement plan and results. And the last one is provide advice you would give to someone trying to make improvements in this skill area. For myself, describe your selected interpersonal communication skill improvement goal. My improvement goal is to try and be better at my intrapersonal communication skills as well as my interpersonal communication skills. So my intra is things such as, I didn't want to do this video earlier because I didn't have a haircut. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my haircut usually be better than this, but I do like where it's at. That's a prime example of knowing how to be better at being able to communicate to myself how I feel about myself, what I think about myself. And I was speaking so negatively about myself that's why I'm doing the video late, because I didn't want to look like a vagabond on the video. So just knowing that it's not about necessarily look all the time, but there is a look that you're trying to go after, a look that you're trying to get, a look that you're trying to attain, because presentation is everything. And so I wanted to be presentable. But then in the midst of that, understand that me as a person still matters despite how I look. And so I want to get better at communicating with myself, because one of the hardest things I've learned from dealing with homeless people is they struggle how they communicate with themselves because of how they see themselves. And sometimes it's hard to see yourself. You can walk into a room and you see everybody, but the hardest thing to see is yourself. As far as my interpersonal communication, I have been working on that for sure as well. I was recently asked about how to develop a plan to discuss to a large group by someone, and I was shocked that they thought that I was qualified to do it. And it was a blessing. And I spoke to them yesterday and they were excited about it. They want to send me the video to let me know how they did. And I was just gracious in general that my thoughts mattered. So my intrapersonal communication, how I view myself, and then my interpersonal communication rather, how I discuss with people and how I speak to people about who they are and how they are. The next one is explain why you selected the goal for yourself. I selected this goal because in our reality it's needed. Everybody in the world is struggling with something, but sometimes your issues, your problems, your struggles become so large, but they become large because it's so close to your face. But if you bring it back a little bit, it allows you to adjust your perspective. And I just want my perspective to be adjusted so I can take everything responsibly into consideration. The next part is, how have you felt challenged in this skill area? One of the hardest things as far as my interpersonal communication, I work from home. So even right now, I'm working. So since you work from home, and then while working from home, I have a 10-year-old. He comes in the house, and when he comes into the house, I have to make sure he's okay, he's taken care of, he eats and all of that. Then he wants to play, and so I have to always be available to make sure that that's happening. And I have a wonderful wife, but she goes to work where I work from home. So it's a different thing, and it's been different since 2024. And so that's one of the challenging areas. You don't get out as much to practice interpersonal communication. And what makes it worse is I don't necessarily always try to get out to have better and more interpersonal communication with other people. And so this is an area that I do have to work on for sure. How does improving this skill area benefit you? It benefits me greatly because I speak at many different places. I speak more so, I'm on camera, but I'm not speaking to the camera. I'm speaking to people typically. So sitting in a room by myself, talking to a camera, it's a thing I'm still working on. But since I speak at so many places, I want to make sure that I am well equipped in the social realm and area to be able to speak to people, to understand, comprehend, and get beyond my inefficiencies of small talk. Sometimes small talk is what leads to greater talk. When they realize you can handle one aspect, it levels up. But if you don't do the small talk, you miss out on opportunities. So being able to do better with my interpersonal communication with other people and make sure I get out of the house more will be very beneficial for me. Explain your improvement plan and results. My improvement plan is just basically get out of the house more. I've done it recently. I've been doing a little bit more. It's been a work since 2020. I've been working from home since March 17th of 2020. And so being in the house normally you would lock the door to keep people out, but you don't realize sometimes how you're locking yourself in, and that can be an issue. And so I've done that. So I have to get out of the house, go places, do things, do more than just, cook, take care of my kids and things like that, make sure my wife is straight when she get home. I had to do more than that sometimes to build more of my interpersonal communication opportunities. Provide advice you would give to someone trying to make improvements in this skill area. In this same skill area of working on interpersonal communication as well as your interpersonal communication, it's going to be scary, but do it anyways. It reminds me of being a kid. And as a kid, sometimes kids will be like, you'll go to them and you say, boo. And they'll, whoo. And then they'll say, do it again, do it again, do it again. And you do it again. And that excitement and joy of being afraid, but then getting on the other side of fear. It's kind of like what Will Smith said when he turned 50 and he jumped out of a plane. He said there is this unexpected joy right on the other side of fear. But if you never jump or take the leap, you never get to find out. So I would say to people, respectfully and responsibly, and if you have a partner with you that helps out as well, but take the leap, because you never know the feeling on the other side of fear if you never jump. So jump. Thank you, class. Have a good one.